Hello everybody. We are continuing our qualifying battles with Mardu. Where'd you go, Mardu? There you go. The Mardu vehicle slash planeswalker concoction. Some call it the boogeyman. You can't deny it's a tough deck to battle. So we're on the 3-0. Gotta get to the... If we get two more in a row, it's auto-qualified. And it'll be in the end of the year playoffs. So we'll see. Those of you who want to bet against it, it's gonna be tough. This deck's a beating. Alright, here we go. It's sort of it's the descendant of the reigning champion. The reigning champion didn't run this many planeswalkers. That's a little neither here nor there thing. What am I doing with myself? I guess the best way to have a good early game, like we can hit four lands easy if we play this. So that's what I'll do. Only one of them is black though, so am I supposed to get black mana? Nah, because then I can't play the motorist. It's a little messy. So we'll get red. We'll have to find room for a tap land somewhere, but it shouldn't be hard since we're pretty low on spells. But let's fire this up. We don't need lands. We do not need lands. I guess these are fine. That just means you caught the very beginning of the stream. Yitz comes in and hits the uptime command on the MTG bot every time, and this time it said that the stream is currently offline because he got in here too fast. But don't worry, we ain't done nothing. You ain't missed nothing. Just figuring out how we want to play this turn. On one hand, on the other hand, if I trade him off some, Ob is safer. I don't know. It's like kind of hard to tell if I'm supposed to attack here or not. But when in doubt, I usually do. Get in there. This deck is on 3-0 too, by the way, if you're wondering yonder. Yep, there's the trade. Now one could say I could trade my ballista for that, but since they both come from one card, I just want to trade a token on my ballista with the copter. And there's our other black source. So we found the time to play that. I just got done watching Grand Prix Omaha. Brad Nelson wins Grand Prix Omaha. He's somebody whose stuff I read pretty regularly because I have a Star City Games subscription. He's usually one of the better writers. He tries to write about a lot more than just this deck and this, like what's up with this and what's up with that. So I'm a fan. So I'm happy for him. Oh boy, what are we gonna do? It's gonna get interesting. I wonder if he's got the tools to flip that Chandra. I think I put out ballista. And if he does anything about it, I just kill the Chandra. But first we'll attack, see what he wants to do. You want some? You don't want none? Okay, he doesn't want none, it appears. So. Yes, he was playing Marvel. Is Mardu Midrange out of the running for the quest? No. No. Mardu, I mean, if you're talking about this deck, and I am, I'm talking about this being Mardu Midrange. No, it needs 2 more wins, and it doesn't have a loss yet. So it is not out of the running, not even close. It would need to pick up a loss to even be on the edge. It was a really good final, though. There was a game where Sam Party, you know, he got Marvel Ulamogged and battled through it using Nissa, Voice of Zendikar, and a lot of plant tokens. It was pretty cool. It was the revenge of the plants, that's for sure. Alright, here comes a twin bolt. Let's see what we do. Let's see. You can go 1, 2. I guess I still make him trade this. Sure. Fine. I think it's fine. I think I wait till the transformation is on the stack before I do anything. I'd feel better unlicensing it. Then I can kill the Thopter with the ballista. You could have forced my hand by targeting the ballista with one of the twin bolt triggers. Find that pretty interesting. See if he's got one more thing to play or not. One more red spell, Chandra. What do you got? And there it is, Rolling Thunder for 0, but now I'm gonna ruin your party. It would be kind of sad if a Mardu vehicle variant wins a quest again. Yeah, but we do have to at least find out if it's still the best deck. I'm less interested in whether or not that's sad and a lot more interested in what's the best, because I consider that information useful. But I do understand what you mean. You don't want to see the same deck win year in and year out. But hey, sometimes a good villain gets people invested, you know what I mean? We all need an enemy. Like people who complain about Marvel right now. It's a good villain. It's got this random aspect to it that makes it feel like Hearthstone. People don't always like that. Alright, we got a Ember Hauler. Okay, what else we got? Nothing? Sweet. Evolving Wilds. Let's go up. The red deck's not really putting a ton of pressure on, and we're starting to drop the mid-range bombs. Target that. He'll shoot Ob with it. That's fine. Ob drawing fire. That's what he's there for. Now we have the secret, I think. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we have the secret skysov activation where we can play Smuggler's Copter, activate Shambling Vent, and crew the Sovereign with the Copter. Because Vent can crew the Copter, Copter can crew the Sovereign. So we can do that next turn if we need to. Gemini would like it to be known that pairings are up. I assume you mean for the Xbox Fight Club. I'm guessing that I'm playing the Jeskai control, but I guess I'm in no serious rush myself. But you're welcome to tell me and save me a trip. Well, that makes crewing even easier. And we have this. So what's the line? I think we attack with the Skysov. We kill this. We hit his face. We draw a card. We hold up unlicensed. Hard to go wrong. Let's start here. Alright. Don't think I'm drawing a card anytime soon, so we'll just, yeah, we'll take this route. Good old Glory Bound. We don't exert it that often. It's amazing, though. When you do use it, it's an awesome, quick life gain, and when you don't use it, it's just a 3-power, crewing Heart of Kiran, and crewing Sky Sovereign, and crewing Cultivator's Caravan. Yes, we'll go here, here, hold up you. Seems good. As the creature planeswalker vehicle removal chain is totally online. So down goes Crazy Mad Monk in the mono red. Advancing to 4-0, looking for the 5-0. But we can put this deck aside until the quest for the best really starts if it wins the next one. Who's your opponent in the next round, Gemini? Who did you draw? What's your enemy? Just curious. Making conversation. Same with and anybody else, Justice Shard. Feel free to tell me who your opponent is for the next round. Green-red energy. Please take that out for me. I do not want to play against those blossoming defense decks at all. Not until top 8. My sideboarding, I'm not worried about blossoming defense anymore, but in the main rounds, I want nothing to do with it. The Steam pairings aren't up. Okay, interesting. Well, because I have motorist, I'm gonna just trust the cards to scribe me to the lands I need. As this hand is busto if I find 2 lands in the top 4. Oh, so there's still a match to go in Steam. That's too bad. That is not the fun. Let's try to get a land on top of our deck, preferably a white one. Let's see what we can do. No dice. So what am I doing next turn? Do I keep both of these? Actually, I only get to keep one anyway. I think I'll just take the top of my deck. Or no, if I take the caravan, I'm in pretty good shape later. I'll take the caravan. I'm going to shuffle the other one away anyway, because I have to use Evolving Wilds next turn, but next turn's not going to be a good one. How is Gideon of the Trials been in this deck? Meh. It's a pretty meh card in general. It's alright in this deck. You have Heart of Kiran, and you have some other things that it's good with. And it can crew stuff. It's kind of like a creature in that way, but a creature that can be directly attacked, which isn't that good. Alright, let's go see if our opponent is holding Gideon's Reproach. So we've got a bit of a mopey hand. We'll figure it out. This is a Planeswalker deck. It does have 9 Planeswalkers, but it also has, I believe, 6 vehicles and plenty of pilot types. So it's vehicles and Planeswalkers mixed. And our opponent's just playing mono white do nothing. Ooh, okay. I think that makes the play Gideon of Zendikar all day, but let's go over there and see what he does. We do have to wonder about cast out, but I don't think playing around that there's any point. But yeah, this Gideon's the play all day when you have the choice. That has not changed. All right. Time to do something. Yep, Knight. Knight's a starting point. All the white mana, but our opponent just now getting on the board. It's very bizarre. And what? Nimbus Wings? What? What is happening? Or not? Maybe you're gonna hold up mana? What is going on? What do you think our opponent's getting at? Blessed Alliance? I have no tolerance for this. Oh, what do you guys think he's getting at? I do feel like it's Blessed Alliance. Is it worth playing around anything, though? I don't think so. I'm just gonna go like this. If he wants to first strike something, that's fine. Yep, that don't bother me. And there was no alliance. I don't know what's going on. What's your opinion on the knight? What knight? You mean Knight of the White Orchid? It's a fine card. I mean, it's good. It ain't great. It's fine. Okay, so he can pump it by... He got it to 3. We know he has a Nimbus Wings. What's he doing? What is our opponent doing? Okay, attack in the face. Does not care about Gideon. What a weird game we're playing. Cast out. There's cast out. I had a feeling that was lurking. Well, the problem with Knight of the White Orchid in this format is this little double white cost down here. So you really only want to play it in heavily human and heavily aggro-y decks. And I don't think that you want to be a mostly white aggro deck very often right now, the way that the game is. So that's part of the problem. It's just, you'd be a lot better if it, like, white aggro's fine, but it's also very boring, and I think that's where it suffers the most. I think it's a boring card for people who, I don't know, people who are boring. What more can I say? It's a very boring card. Boom. Alright, Gideon of the crew. Go, go, go. And he's gonna go to 2. Alright, life gain or bust, pal. I guess he could also find a way to remove the artifact. Let's see what happens. Sigil of the Empty Throne, that's what we're waiting for, I guess. That's the big play. I mean, why aren't we playing Nimbus Wings? I know you have it. Why aren't we playing the Nimbus Wings? I'm so confused. Alright, well, what do you got? I'll put you to the test. Nothing. That'll do it. Nothing. 5-0 to the Mardu, the Midrange. So let's put that in under the qualified title. Post that. There, that's done. Yeah, I know. That was weird. I hear y'all. I hear ya. Hey, I have to play these games. Alright, what are we gonna do next? I suppose we could do that. We got a number of things in here. Eeny, meeny, miny, mono, mono, mo. Deck to play, deck to play, deck to play, deck to play. We'll put tokens up. It's gonna be fun. Let's see here. I keep trying different things with black-white tokens because it's fun. There's about 50 ways that you can build this deck. So if some of the card choices aren't for you and you've got a better idea, by all means. I am no authority on telling you how to build the deck, but I do think I can at least pilot it to a qualifying record. And if I fail at such things, that's probably on me. But I like having Walking Ballista in the deck. It can trigger Revolt, and it can it can give you token superiority. It also can get +1/+1 counters from other cards. Sacred Cat is a card I like in the deck to hold off early super aggro rushes and chump block. And of course, Anointer Priest. Fatal Push, yeah. Eily is, it's kind of amazing how much you get to ultimate Eily in this version, because you get up over 30 life with the Priest, and then you can sacrifice your tokens to exile other stuff. And I think I see in there that somebody says it's win more. I don't think that's close to accurate, because early in the game, you haven't won more at all, but you might need to put something in the way to stop your opponent's giant beatdown critters from kicking your butt, and Eily just comes out and gets Death Touch on them, and it helps you get to the late game where you need to win from. And then we have the other good cards like Copter, Stockpile, Enthusiast, Unmaking deals with anything, Effort's great in a token deck. A lot of this stuff is straightforward. I like having the Last Hope in here. Again, in token standoffs, I like something that can kind of pick on other tokens, but also the -2 is really big here to make sure that you find more cards that make tokens, or to get Eily or a Walking Ballista later in the game. It also keeps Angel of Invention coming back for more, just like Big Lily does. She also kind of serves a purpose much like that. I'm trying start to finish. I still don't really love this card, but in this deck it feels silly not to play. When you get the rate of 4 tokens instead of 2, it's really good. And sacrificing a token to kill something also triggers Revolt, so I think in this specific deck it's better than average, but I'm not a huge fan. Anyway, that's what I'm running, and of course Westvale Abbey and such. Let's go get some games. It'll be great. We have an argument that Gifted Aetherborn is better for the role. I guess the role you're saying of turn 2 Death Touch block something. I don't think, I mean, it's strictly better if the mana's not a problem, but exactly as you say, the mana's rough. You don't always want to play 2 black lands untapped or something like that. You always want to be black-white so you can stockpile ASAP. And, you know, Eily works with the stockpile. Did I watch the finals today? Yeah, I watched both GP finals today. I enjoyed both of them. I thought they were pretty fun. Good magic, good magic, good magic, good magic. There we go. Let's get right to it, kitty. Meow. What are we doing? That seems pretty straightforward. Somebody's getting their jackal on here. And let's see, what do we want to do? I think we just play the priest. I think that's pretty straightforward, but now it takes away some of those easy attacks. Yo, it was cool seeing an Ulvenwald Hydra in on camera. That was pretty cool. That was not what I expected at all, that's for sure. Uh-oh, we got a god. We got a big old Death Touch god who can give other things trample. That's a problem. Trample's pretty good against tokens. We'll have to get our life gain up. I think I'll just get this copter going. Seems good. And yeah, we'll roll like this. See what he wants to do with that mummy. He targets the mummy. Yeah, here it comes. We'll just push it. That's kind of a time walk, because now his Ronus can't attack or do anything. So we sort of time walked him. It's a good start for the team, for the CGB team. Alright, we'll make some tokens, we'll get some life, we'll send the team. And it makes sense here to loot with copter even if we don't want to discard anything, because we have cards in our deck with embalm. So putting them in the graveyard, we just want to do that. Plus it gives us more targets for Lily later maybe. So, yep, that's something we can gladly discard, because we can just embalm that out of the yard. But yep, great start to the game. It's feeling good. And this is the danger of Ronus here. Ronus can be a huge pain if you can keep the right bodies on the board. If you can't, it's, yeah, you sort of time walk yourself. But here comes a nice Hydra move here. He'll get one attack here. But since he doesn't have trample, blocking with the enthusiast is a straightforward play. Basically gain 5 life with my enthusiast. But yeah, we're looking at some kind of a Jund discard monsters type build, which is pretty cool. Not gonna put it down. And let's get pushy and send the house, because we can just keep attacking here. And maybe we become the beatdown. Ooh. Ooh. So I play that, I can pump the squad. He's gonna block the priest, I think. Nah, I think, this is rough. So I'm gonna discard, I'm gonna bail on Lily here. Which is really weird, but I think it's right. We're gonna get rid of that. We're gonna put that over there, and here we go. Yeah, Sensor making waves in the GP today, that's for sure. Now our opponent has a Cathartic Reunion. Well, if they pull the land, they get another Hydra token, but I'm ready for that. Bring that on. Let's see, they got the land, so I assume here comes the token, but I don't think they can attack. And if they don't attack, it'll be a waste. Oh, the removal. It's 9 to 24. If you want to hit me for 5, I accept. Nope. There's the pass. Probably smart. Oh, that's the draw too. That's like one of the best draws we could have had. Here, kitty kitty. Just to make sure everything goes according to plan. And we'll tap you. And that should do it. The Unicorn Stampede is successful. Down goes the Jundies. Yeah, poor Ronus. Ronus just didn't get the love. And you've got to think, when your opponent makes a deck about discarding cards, like kind of a madness type synergy Jund deck, that they have to really want to be discarding those hooded Hydras. Like, that's a huge draw to the deck. And our opponent got to make both hooded Hydra tokens, and it just got run over. Because right now, making large monsters doesn't win you many games. They're just big removal targets, because the removal is so decent and strong and not universal, but it's up there. It's not totally universal. Fatal Push is in no way universal. Grasp of Darkness is in no way universal, but it hits most of what you need it to hit. Daddy Jello, 38 rank. Let's see what you've got for the tokens. I think I can keep this. On the draw, I think I can expect to hit my third land. If we hit our fourth, we're just in great shape. This is a rematch? Oh, we got the same opponent again? That's good. I have no regrets. I will definitely take on that matchup again. Let's do it. I do not fear the rematch. I want to do it. I'm sure that my opponent here would love another shot, huh? So, what are we discarding? Probably walking ballista. I think walking ballista makes the least sense in this hand. We can always get it back later if we need it. And he discards... Maybe there's a reanimator side to this? What do you think? Yeah, I think there's a decent shot that our opponent's going to run some kind of a reanimator game on us. Some ever afters, some necro summons. I wish I had that cat before. I could have discarded it. That would have made me happy. And then I was thinking about holding it because of that, but I still feel like this is the right way to play the curve. We don't have the removal this game. We're going to have to draw it. Our opponent might be able to do some big things. I think this time it's either the enthusiast or the cerams. I think it's the enthusiast, because if we have a land in our top two, cerams is awesome. And there's a gear hulk, so yeah, the big reanimation strategy could be coming at us. Ooh. Well, if I'd known I was going to draw that, right? I guess we'll get this going. Get this clock ticking. We may need it. You gotta love the natural jund when they just go bam, bam, bam. Okay, we're cutting the kitty. Kitty will come right back. Sure. What's up, Doc? Alright, he's stuck on lands. That is another problem with a deck like this with the mummies and such. It does seem like if you're stuck on lands, it's going to be hard to do your reanimation strategy. So, Eiley can outclass the board. If our opponent has another removal spell, which I kind of think they do, then starts better. This is pretty close, though. Also, start can't be played off the expertise if we draw the land, so I'll go with start because of the converted mana cost thing. Let's do it. See if he's got any tricks here. See, while he's stuck on lands, I'm thinking I just push Liliana and try to get to ultimate range before he can reanimate his combustible gear hulk and other nonsense. So that's why I'm being pretty aggressive about defending her. Collective effort's interesting, but let's get Eiley out. Collective effort now plays very well with the Ceram's expertises as soon as we draw another land. OMG, that message. What are you talking about, right, Justice? Him sending a message by attacking me with a 0-1 mummy? Is that what you mean? Okay, that's a card. And we've already seen him discard two very big things, so I'm curious where this is going to go. Minor Priest. I think what we'll do is this. Getting all the value out of the start to finish right now. I do believe Ronus is overrated. I believe the champion of Ronus here is overrated, but in this situation, whatever he's stuck on, it might be more big creatures, and he's definitely shown that he has big creatures in the deck. Alright, we're on 5 lands. Will this be some kind of a... What will this be? 5 lands could be necromantic summons. Let's hope we hit a land. We've been stuck on 3 this whole game. Aha. Fatal push. So we can play priest. We can hold up the push. We can attack with Eily. I guess I'll do this first. For the infos. Alright, priest to the battlefield. Plus to the lily, and we're closing in. We are closing in. Rise from the grave, that's another card that I thought of. Uh-huh, yep, okay. You draw 3, that's fine. 3 won't matter if Lily goes off. And there is the frickin' land. Right on time. That's pretty cool. I suppose I'll also throw in an attack for 5. And opponent, did you find something else to remove Lily? Let's find out. Never return would be tragic. Ever after does things. I have no doubt he'll get his Gear Hulk again and such. And a Hydra, sure. He'll get a land, I'll let him draw 3 cards. We can play this game. He gets an Evolving Wilds that enters the battlefield tapped. I think that's funny. Let's see here. Opponent draws 3. But, yep, Lily's gonna go off. Are you kidding me? Oh, wow. No fear of fog over here, my friend. Yeah, I just want to do this again. I was thinking about, but I don't think I want to hit the Gear Hulk. We'll hit that instead. As we close in on that Eily ultimate. Okay, so he's gonna set up an earthquake. I like that. So that'll leave him with his Gear Hulk and me with an emblem and some embalmed creatures. I think that's still fine. And by like that, I mean I think it's a good play for him. Not that I enjoy having such things happen to me, but it's gonna keep this game going, which is interesting. We'll see if he can get through the Lily emblem. That is always such a beating. Priest in the graveyard, probably coming out here. Then we get 2 more zombies. Life total starts going right back up. Let's see what we draw. Another vent. So yeah, this is the easy play. But let's see if we can lose with a lily emblem here today. That would be different. That would be something different on the stream. Oh, we get 3 tokens because this counts as a zombie human cleric, of course. Let's see if our opponent can sweep us again. They're probably going to need... Well, if they have 4 sweepers in a row and I can't hit them with shambling vent, that's something. It's going to be interesting, because if we lose this game, I shouldn't have been letting him draw with Gear Hulk, and if we win this game, I made the right play letting him draw 6 cards with the Gear Hulk to get my Liliana emblem, which is the trade I chose to make a long time ago. Here we go again. What's going to happen? The Hydra's back. Sure. I mean, if this deck has, like, what are some of the cards I'm thinking of here? Like, if this oh, he got it again! See, he did it again! He's got another one, but that won't get rid of the priest. Ooh. Yeah, let's see. I guess I'll block. I mean, why not? It's gonna die anyway. Unless he doesn't play Earth this turn, but next turn. Draw. That's fine. I'll play that. That's a card I can play. He can hit me really freaking hard when he resolves that Earth again. It's not gonna feel good. He's pausing me. Alright. And that'll give it a 2-turn clock, but then he'll need another sweeper after that, because I get my zombies. They come back. And we are up to 30-ish. This is an interesting game for sure. So he can attack me for 18. But then we start making chump blocks again. He's thinking. He's having a good old think. And here comes Earth. No surprise. I could have activated my copter, but I really don't plan on blocking with it. Again, that's non-flying creatures that get hit by Earth, so it wouldn't have died. But I just don't plan to block with it in this spot. I might need it to make my draws better. I can't afford to flood out here. Alright, down to 11. Ripping another anointed priest would be pretty cool. And we've got Big Nissa. Why would we play that now? Why not attack me with a 5/5 as well? Okay, dude. Yeah, I don't like your line, but it's not mine to judge, or not mine to worry about, rather. Cat. Interesting. So I think what I'll do is run the copter this way, so I can get some value. Remember, I get to make another zombie because this will come back as a zombie cat if I embalm it. So that's what we're up to. He does have ribbons. There's nothing I can really do. I guess I could suicide a shambling vent. And I'll hold this in case I get to live another turn with my copter. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this is it, 13, and he can drain me out. Guess I could have suicided a shambling vent, but I don't think that's the way to do it. I think that's just another losing play. So if he has an untapped land, he can ribbons me. Oh wait, he doesn't need it. He can use the Nissa. Let's see if he sees that. Let's see if he finds the line. He can tap the land for mana. He can Nissa, untap it. He can win that way. Then hopefully we get a rubber match if I lose this. He doesn't see it. Unless he's slow rolling me. And he's coming in hot. Okay. Well, we have to make all the blocks. So this is gonna block here, and this is gonna block here, and this is gonna block right there. And we tick up to 12. And there's cut number 2. All right, he should just start throwing those ribbons right now. He should throw ribbons right now. But he's already, yeah. He's already making some funny plays. But yeah, that's the way you do it. I don't know what's taking him a long time to get this. Let's see here. Pretty dead. I can't think of anything that could change that. I guess we'll just hope that he gets distracted by Gideon, right? Bit of a mana flood down the stretch, but oh wells. So apparently I'm messed up and should have let my Lily die and just dealt with the Gear Hulk, because letting him draw 6 cards certainly paid off, as he drew both Heavens and Earths and both Cut and Ribbons. He drew all 4 of those. So that's something. And it's really funny, it was totally different from our first game against each other. This game he was a Reanimator deck. Last game, like, I don't even remember. I just beat the snot out of him too fast. He's thinking. He's having a think. Having a long think about this. Like I said, I hope we get the rubber match. That's one of the only reasons I'm waiting for him to finish this game. Sure, show me more split cards. That's cool. Just gives me more of what to expect next time we play each other. You know, I've tried inviting people to the last matches and they never say yes. Like, that, it's just never worked. It's just, it like never works when I invite them. And you're right, Mega Beast, he's being a dick, but he already missed lethal, so in my mind, I won. So Heaven and Earth, gotta watch out for that if we're gonna play him. Hopefully we get one more, but that brings us to a 1-1. Please be the same person, please. Nope, not the same person. And, well, we got 39, so let's do it. Yeah, he did fight through the Lily ultimate. That is pretty epic. So we can't have much hate. Okay. Got the right lands. This is our first sighting of Anointed Procession. And our opponent's opening with, looks like blue, might be some blue control deck. And let's just give them nothing to do, see if they cycle a sensor. I like having instant speed interaction with a deck that holds mana up. Blue-white control, perhaps. Maybe Jeskai? ET is arbitrary. I don't know. I could wait and try to resolve the procession, but I don't think that would be very wise. Unless he taps out, but I don't see tapping out. Let's see what happens when we go for this. To be fair, the guy didn't know how to win with ribbons the previous turn. Maybe he didn't know how to win with ribbons that turn either. I'm not mad. I'm not mad about any BMs or nothing. It's cool. I can take it. Wasn't the first time I've been BM'd, won't be the last time. By the way, this game, which we're going to focus on for a bit, not going to play that Anointed Procession in the spot because this could happen. I find that interesting, though, that our opponent would cast the Gisela into the finish. But I really want to resolve the procession. So we'll do it this way. I could hit start again, but I'd rather get that thing dead. I'm trying to get that thing dead. There we go. And now the procession's out. We'll see if our opponent has a cast out or something of that ill repute to make our first anointed procession of the day inadequate. So Esper colors now. Both energy gone to resolve Liliana. That'll pick off some of our tokens. Alright, let's start with attacking Liliana. Then what I want to do is play Anointer Priest and then play, well, I want to just hold up start. And to play around, we can also play around Censor by playing an extra land. But I don't want to walk right into a sweeper, so I want to use start in this situation to make tokens on end step. Or at least try to. Go for it, see if our opponent has a counter spell. Nope. Hello. So, I don't know what the odds are of finding another thing of the opponent's to kill, like Gisela. I don't know if there's going to be an enchantment to destroy. So it's very tempting to just go for this. At the same time, hard to tell what my opponent's even holding, but they're down. They have no energy, so there's no double blue and no double black, and that may be a big problem with their hand. And I think if they had Planar Outburst, they wouldn't use it on a priest, but they might still have it. So I feel inclined to wait a turn for this. My opponent would need 2 instant speed removal spells to save Liliana in the spot, so I think I can get her off the board here without the help of the effort. There we go. And do we play out our land or hope to draw a copter? Against control, I like to have my lands out. Never know when that sensor will get you. And it's a tragic arrogance. Whoo! I mean, that takes out the tokens. Was a sweeper, but we get to keep the procession, so we'll be reloading that particular shotgun quickly. And again, I think I'll just play one thing at a time. Up to 28, so we're really close to playing Eily and using it, which I think we could do. Like if our opponent went for Sorin here and we untapped and still had an Anointer Priest, we could just play Eily, sack the Anointer Priest, and then sack a token. Oh, we're going for a tutor. Okay. Our opponent's leaving mana open. I think this is a good turn to punch him as hard as I can. Want you to hit me as hard as you can. Megabeast thinks that Esper Control is the best overall deck in duels currently. I don't know. I don't know if I can get behind that. It's a good deck, but best is a tall order. Blessed Alliance for life. Yeah, that's a good call considering. Cloud Blazer is... I wonder if that's what we fetched. I don't know. I don't know. Kitty. Alright. Let's see if we can kill our opponent here. Silly AI. And that should do the job, barring a fatal push. Bang, bang. All right, got to 2 and 1. We're gonna need 3 straight wins to qualify this. By the way, I'm also just chilling. Extreme Rules, WWE Extreme Rules is tonight. And I'm gonna be starting it as soon as my wife gets home. So at any moment, I may have to disappear. Just giving you all a heads up on that. But I'm gonna play until she's back. All right, this hand is great. Let's do it. Our opponent's getting right to the beats with the Toppelgeist. That is a juicy one. Really likey. Not leading with the wilds because I plan to combo it with the hidden stockpile later. And a knight, so our second Knight of the White Orchid doing stuff today. Alright, let's hit the chapel, let's hit the priest. Let's see if he has a way through or around this card. Can be a very good one. Alright, that's not Thalia, which was my primary concern of things that could happen. Alright, and we know he doesn't have a trick, because he didn't even try the bluff attack. I would try the bluff attack. Faux shiz. Alright. Yeah, I think we just take the consul's lieutenant while we can. We do lose Liliana to a Nimbus Wings. But I guess I make him have it. Rather than risk Nimbus Wings on the lieutenant, which would make Liliana have a very tough time. Collective effort. Pump in the team? Yep. Okay. Let's see, do we want to keep our priest? No, we don't. We don't need to keep our priest. Priest can come back. There's my collective effort. What are we doing? Enthusiast is probably the right play. And maybe I just leave that wilds hanging out. Maybe. We'll decide on his end step. Think about what we're going to do next. I thought Lily's favorite snack was Consul's Lieutenant, but same principle. Yeah, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or 1, 2, 3, 4. Think about what we could draw. What else can we do? Lily could tick down, get that. It would be dead. If we pay 4, we can get back the priest. Yeah, I'll have uses for the mana. And probably no use triggering, or no problem triggering revolt once we get stockpile running. There's a draw. Okay, good. So you can come into the battlefield. You can come out. Our opponent already used a collected effort. Hopefully they don't have another one. Alright, plus Lily. Keep this from being a super effective card. And I think I'll also get in. Could have seen if my opponent would block, but that would almost be like begging them to make a mistake. I'd feel kind of dirty, as it would be an onboard trick. But that doesn't mean I shouldn't have done it. Should have attacked first and seen if our opponent would block, and then Lily would kill the Toppelgeist. The hits keep on coming. Chumps for days. And our opponent appears to be having a flood. All right. Okay, they didn't block. I feel better now. Scrymy. Top. Hard to go wrong. So the most mana efficient play is you. There we go. CGB, how long have you been a wrestling fan? Maybe since I was 10? Maybe something like that. 10 years old. Yep, seen a lot. Seen a lot in the wrestling years. I could use the stockpile to scry, but I don't need to. My top card is awesome, and I already know what it is, and I very much want to draw it. Alright, let's send him. I guess that's 25 years, Mega Beast. I guess that's 25 years that I've been a wrestling fan. My opponent takes the trade. So we don't need to sacrifice anything to stockpile, but we can. But I don't think that's right. We'll just hold up this Anguished Unmaking and gain 3 life. And there's a concession. Yeah, accepted. Liliana was going to run away with that. So 3-1. Salmon of Knowledge wants to point out that, quote, you middle America types, thank you for the generalization of me, are into some weird stuff. Well, I'm one of the only wrestling fans I know in person, so saying that about all of middle America is pretty silly. And to follow up on that, let's see. I'm sure that you're all into something weird. I'm sure plenty of people would find you being into magic pretty weird. You know what I mean? I know people find me being into magic weird. What is the other one? So you watch wrestling with your wife. Yeah, she loves it. She didn't know anything about it till before she met me, but then yep, got her into it, and now she's a big fan. Roachman says, I live on the coast and I boo Roman Reigns. I boo Roman Reigns as well. So we have that in common, Middle America and Coastal America. Plenty of Roman Reigns hate. Alright, let's just get this on the battlefield and get going. Inmate wants to know, could you show your deck list maybe? Scroll down. All you have to do is make sure that you've refreshed since we changed decks and scroll down. Yeah, wrestling's a lot different than it used to be back in those days, Mega Beast. He's talking about Attitude Era and Hogan Warrior and things like that. It's different, but I guess this might just be a moment of where it's my opinion, man, but I don't think that makes it bad. But it is certainly different. It is certainly different. So this is going to get interesting. Maybe we're against vehicles here. This could be a fun matchup. See if our opponent has Gideon. Oh, Valor. We're up against Valor. Ruh-roh. Gonna need to draw land pretty badly. As having a ballista would go a long way against this deck. We can't get killed in the air by Thopters. And we need to draw... What's the card? What are we doing? We need to draw the collective effort. Get rid of that Valor. So what am I doing? I could attack with both, but if I get free revolt, what does that do? I guess I get multiple scries, maybe? Or I could hold them back and play the priest and sack this and start getting tokens. Or I could play this and start getting double tokens. What's better? And do I have to be aggressive? This is going to be a toughie. So what do I do? I think I see if I can get a free revolt. No. No. Start making a pile? No, we get the priest out. We get the priest out. Then we try to scry into lands or collective effort or anguish unmaking. Not good enough. Too many 4-drops already. And hopefully the life gain can keep us a little bit afloat. I would love to double my tokens, but I can't right now. I gotta have the land. Oh, lordy. Oh, lordy. What is happening? What is happening? Let's see if our opponent feels aggressive here. And just that? Maybe? Maybe? Yep. Alright. Missing land drops against Gideon means you die. This is established. So here we go. Alright, go get Gideon. Okay. Why not take out another token, Pia? I wonder what he's worried about here. But since we got revolt from one of them, boom. All-time favorite heal is the question. And that's in wrestling terms. All-time favorite heal. Oh my god. We're just getting Planeswalker obliterated. Well, I can't think about that right now. This is gonna be a tough game, so I need you to not ask me any more questions. Can he kill me? Oh, no, he can't kill me. No, there's free revolt. That's a thing. Unfortunately, his Chandra ticks down, right? And then he can attack me for a bunch. Chandra ticking down is really bad. But, what... Let's see. He ticks Chandra down. He wipes my field again. What do I go up to when I put this out? 1, 2, 3, 4. I go up to 18. Ticks Chandra down for 1. I can't block any. I can only block one thing. But then if it's at 2, ballista can kill it. It's gonna be really close no matter what I do. The other option is to play Eily, which can also block and survive. And I can play another stockpile and I get the same amount of tokens. All right, here we go. Life, life, life. So we go up, we get the same amount of tokens as if I played Procession, but I have an extra blocker and one with a higher toughness on the field. If I need it. Double Valor, why not? Both decks are going off. Is it enough so he can tick down Chandra and win? He's got 16. No, he doesn't. He's got 12. So if he minuses Chandra, he can kill everything, but he doesn't win. Okay. This is good, actually. He can get me pretty low. Oh, he's got another creature. Is that enough? Yeah, that's enough. So, perfect draw. Yep. Perfect, even, Steven draw. And tokens is destroyed. That was a fun game, though. I mean, Shard says that's game easily. It was Xaxes. That's not easily. That's hard. Xaxes is hard. But that was good. That was a good couple of battles. Unfortunately, though, tokens eliminated. Nope, tokens is unqualified. Unqualified in that game. Black-white tokens is a fun deck. I've never, though, thought it was that amazing. Dun 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 ba bum ba bum. Boom. Destroyed. Alrighty. What's really sad about that game is how many answers we have to somebody who's playing with like Valor and Akros. So we had so many ways to deal with that. Well, not so many, not like an insane amount, but we had a good amount of ways to deal with that. If Eiley had gone high enough, that's one way, but we had 2 Anguish Unmakings and 2 collective efforts that we didn't draw, which is too bad. So, but that's the way it goes sometimes. That's why those decks sometimes seem a lot better than they are, the decks with 4 mana do-nothing enchantments, because sometimes your opponents have nothing to deal with it. The red green energy's fine. Let's get it going. Those of you panicking because you can't hear me in the chat, I'm typing. I have to type the deck list and then copy paste it, or people will ask for the deck list the whole time. So bear with me. If I try to type and talk at the same time, it takes twice as long. Alright, there we go. Red green energy. So this deck is very much sticking to the good old-fashioned get 'em dead quickly. It tries to be a turn 4 type of deck, which is why it doesn't have cards like Glorybringer, and is still pretty true to the Kaladesh shell. Sage of Nature's Claim is always a weird card for me to run, but this deck needs the energy and it channels it well, so you gotta have your cards. We also have some vehicles in there, because vehicles and creatures go together like peas and carrots. And Ronus is one of the only additions. The other one is Insult to Injury, which is actually a very solid way to win with this deck. It's very a good way to go. It's kind of amazing how many times you can punk them out with, like, say you have a Smuggler's Copter and a Sage of Nature's Claim. You crew your Copter, you highspire Infusion it, and you cast Insult, and they're dead in the air. So that's what's up with that. I don't feel like there's a ton of controversial choices here. You want to play the cheap energy creatures that are good, and then you just want some consistent ways to get damage through. Ronus is good, but it's all that it's kind of a tough one to make work, and it's an easily exploitable card. It has its good matchups, it has very bad ones too, especially control. And but Nissa over here is one that's a little tougher, but I just want a 3-mana Planeswalker non-creature threat against decks that are just overloaded on removal. Sometimes you get Nissa out there and just start ticking it up and they have to deal with that instead. Same thing with Chandra, that's why they're in the game. Just a different angle, it's what it's all about. Let's go to war. Mordivore is asking about cut to ribbons. You would have that in this deck? I think without black mana it wouldn't, the upside wouldn't be that great. It's just kind of a removal spell that may or may not have a target in several matchups. I don't know. Maybe. Sometimes MTG bot just takes a break. Try not to panic when it goes on vacay. We were able to make videos before without it. Oh, you were trying to figure out how to link split cards from MTG bot. I see. This hand is not very good. Let's try to do better. That's not better. Okie dokie. This might be fine. Let's play the ambiguous Aether Hub. You won't know what's coming. Black-white. Do we have a Child of Night? Paging the Child of Night. No. Cubberino or Copterino? Let's go Copter. Could really use the loot. Try to fix this hand, get our next 2 land drops, and then prevent any future land drops after we get to 4. Third land, do nothing. So this is one of the tricky things, right? When your opponent is not playing things, you can guess they have removal for your copters, so you just don't want to play into it. But I also don't want to play my cub into it. So I think the plage is going to be the play is going to be the sage. We're going to get energy off it, but we're not going to attack with our copter. I'm just going to pass. There's cards like Blossoming Defense that we can use later. Highspire can blow out a Grasp of Darkness, though not a Murder or a Fatal Push. But this way our opponent's not really developing their board. Dark Salvation. I mean, yeah, you could play that card, but our opponent is saying no thank you. Weird. Alright. Greenbelt. That's pretty handy. Let's send in the Sage. If we play the cub, it will probably die, but that's probably fine. Something's got to eat the removal spell to make copter work. But the thing is, we're developing our board. Our opponent, they're just passing, probably because they want to kill the copter. Here comes the mastery. So we got like a zombie deck. That's not that scary though. I can deal with that. Let's see what happens here. Off the top is a harnessed lightning. I think I just want to crew off the sage and get in. My opponent double blocks, I can blow him up pretty well. But we want to hit that land drop, please. There's that land drop. What are we discarding? We don't want to give away that we have this. Is Hellion likely to really do much? Maybe Harvester isn't likely to do much, but it's got evasion. I think... This is awkward, but I kind of want to toss the Hellion and keep the Harvester. Because I don't think that getting through on the ground is going to be easy at all. Uh-huh. Let's blow this up, shall we? Eat them zombies. Glad you're back, Mega Beast. Family time, overrated. My wife is still out visiting a friend. Been waiting for her to come back. So I get to spend more time with you guys too. Stir the sands. That's going to make a bunch of dorks. Like I said, probably going to be hard to keep getting in on the ground. So glad we made that little play. Alright, how do we want to do this? Cub is good at just, like, it can hold back a zombie, or at least make zombie attacking harder. Or we could keep attacking in. My opponent could keep multi-blocking. That's a pretty good use for our pump spells, to be perfectly honest. So do I want to use these as mana generation? I think I do. So I can pump the cub to a 5. I can use this to make an energy and crew the copter, then attack, and then I have highspire open. I think that's pretty good. Rather than having it sit on the board, I just need the energy generation here to keep the cub going strong. So we pause. We pause and we crew. Please. I'm getting lagged. Being stubborn. Don't like it. Not cool. Game is sinking. Please don't freeze. This is a good game. Are we frozen? Are we frozen? Is it like that? Come on now. Okay. Well, we're doing it like this now. Gonna have to finish with the AI here. Okay. So this can go to 8 and then 9. So it can trade with 3 zombies. That good? I don't feel like that's good. Trade my highspire infusion, all my energy, and a stir the sands for a zombie. Seems pretty bad. I think I'm going to save this for a Lord of the Accursed. I think that's the line. Now he has a Dark Salvation, so it may be handy for that as well. Alright, I'm going to discard you. Maybe the right play now is the Harvester. I think I can take 1 hit from the zombie horde, so I'm going to make the Harvester come down now. Alright, so that gives us 9 in the air. So if we top deck, what? Another highspire or an insult, we win. And here comes the salvation. That's gonna go for 5. 1, 2, 3, 5. So we can do this. I'm sure the 3/3s are about to come over, but of course there's the harvester. Of course, I don't think I'd even block with harvester because of the possibility of grasp. Alright. The play. What's the play? Let's start here. Power up. Let's hope that the removal spell is a grasp, though, because if it's a push, not that good. See what we draw. Harvester number 2. I think that's more likely to be necessary than the mountain. And I don't think I need the lifelink. Down to 6. What's the play? You would play the rampager, but it would just rebounce. I think the right play is to hold up Harness Lightning for a Lord of the Accursed, although it wouldn't, yeah, it would kill it because we have the energy, and that's one of the cards that could potentially get lethal here in combination with a Fatal Push. Angelic Destiny. Yeah, that's also a card we have to prevent from happening. Not what I expected. Angelic Destiny on a zombie sounds very unflavorful. It just seems wrong. It seems wrong. It smells like rotting flesh. Alright, opponent needs an out. Will they find it? The vehicle evasion coming through. Oh, we've got Anointed Procession to go with the zombie token machine. But tapping out for that, that's basically a concession. Man, how many 4-mana enchantments can we get into a deck? The AI wants to send a message. Whatever. I'm down. And it looks like we're gonna do this by putting our wild animals and sages, putting elephants and cubs into flying vehicles, and watching them terrorize the skies. Alright, I'll take the 1-0, and I'll check and see if my wife came home and I didn't hear her or something of that nature. As we're now 8:47, jeez. Alright. I'll be right back. Okay, not home yet. Staying out with friends, so may as well keep rolling. Don't have anything dramatically great to do. And we back. Got an opponent. Gonna see how they handle the energy blitz. Strafe for your life. Sounds like a first-person shooter type name. Ooh. Close to a good hand, but too many lands. I might have kept it if there was double green there. Yeah, I guess we gotta try this. And there's a mountain. Let's do this. We have the question of why do you play Magic on the Xbox? Because I own an Xbox. If you embalm a Hydra and then put Destiny on it, it will be an Angel Zombie Snake Hydra. Yeah, that's a pretty cool mix. That's something. Our opponent's coming right out with Shock on our Sage. But that's okay, Sage is just there for the energy value, so it's not technically a 2-for-1, but it feels like one. Let's get this going. See if you got a way to deal with this, Shockmaster. Maybe you want to double shock this? Let's see. What are you doing, Triple Mountain? You're gonna get hasty on me? You're gonna get hasty on me? I'll have you know I'm the quick goldfish. But I guess we'll have a race. I am happy to race. Hopefully we draw a land next turn so that we can go Cub, Crew Harvester, Highspire on a Harvester. And we'll just keep it coming. Oh, you still want to know who my favorite heal is? Honestly, the thing that comes to mind first, and I was trying to think of something, maybe not better, but a better answer, I suppose. But the thing that honestly comes to mind is Randy Orton around like 2005, 2006. When he got his collarbone injured, but he kept showing up and just taunting whoever the champ was at the time, probably John Cena or something like that. It was really awesome. He just kept showing up and being a total prick every week, and then you found out later that his collarbone had healed and he could wrestle again. But like, we missed him a lot when he was gone, and then when he came back, we really liked having him back, my wife and I. So that's what comes to mind. That's what I think of. So the only thing that could go wrong here is Lightning Axe, which would still be a 2-for-1. It would be a 2-for-2. But if he's not gonna respond to that, I think I can safely make this play. And that'll give me a lot of life. That'll make it really hard to race me. So there we go, and my opponent at 2, of course, also good news. So that worked out just the way we hoped on that turn. So there was that year where Randy Orton, he got his Legacy Boys together, and then he just started kicking people in the head to give them vacations. He RKO'd Stephanie McMahon, licked her face, he punted Vince McMahon in the head, and then he won the Royal Rumble a week later. I really loved that that specific chain of events. It was great. So that when I think of best heel, there are probably better heels really in the long term than Randy Orton, people with better careers. But I think of that run and how much fun I had while he was doing that stuff, and I can't come up with better. I really can't. So that's how I'll answer the question. Away with you, glorybringer. You have brought no glory to this land. Harvester over the top. Victory to the energy. Red-green over the mono-red. The mono-red mid-range, I guess? I mean, it was a... Yeah, it's probably still an aggro deck when you have that many haste-type creatures. He played a very hasty type of game with Brazen Scourge and the Crop Crasher. The biggest problem I find with that type of mono-red deck is they do have some great 3-drops, and of course the 5-drop in Glorybringer. Some of the 4-drops are really good, but the 2-drops aren't really all that you need them to be. And of course there's why aren't you playing Unlicensed Disintegration, you silly person. That creeps in when you start using some of the artifacts like Scrapheap Scrounger and Copter and Heart of Kiran as your 2-drops because of the genuine low power of the mono-red 2-drops. All right. The 40s are out tonight. Apparently, if I want good matchups, I need to play on Sunday night. Not something I get to do very often, but here we are today. I'll try this. How bad could a bunch of copters be? Okay, down you come. Let's see what our opponent does. I've played a lot of turn 2 copters in the last 2 days. Seems to correspond pretty well to plenty of victories, though not always. It's not the sure thing I think it used to be. Let's see if our opponent's just going to pass here. Again, they're going to hold up mana. That's fine. We'll play... We'll play the Brawler. And I will crew it up since we have another one. What my opponent could have right now is Gideon's Reproach or Blessed Alliance. Either of those allows me to loot. They could also have a Fatal Push, but appears not. Okay, what's the discard? Probably the Harvester. Don't need that many vehicles, and it's the one we can't cast right now. And our opponent has no removal this time. And it's a Lone Rider. Lone Rider. Must have just drawn it off the top, so our opponent's got a pretty weak hand. We can tell they definitely need a land drop of some kind. So I think the play here is the Sage. If they have a Blessed Alliance that they would have probably played it when we played the Copter, so, or when we attacked with Copter, so they'd have to draw it off the top to flip their Lone Rider and make my life miserable. And Harness Lightning will also take care of that now, so we're in okay shape. I'll discard Chandra. I don't think she'll be needed anytime soon this game. And I will channel energy for damage. Just try to get this done before our opponent gains some footing with what's some kind of a black-white life gain deck. Opponent having a think. And it's going to be a knight. So maybe they were holding back on turn 2, trying to get knight value. If so, they fell into a bit of the trap card problem. Okay, what are we doing? You can crew with this, and then you can defend and get him for 5. You can also just smash for 6. We can also come in and pump this, and then if he double blocks, we can defense on it. That's pretty sick. So yeah, I likes it. Come on, let's do this. Are we gonna have a sinking problem again? All right, there we go. And is this is not quite presenting lethal, but it is if he knows about the defense, I suppose. There's land. So I guess I want to keep insult at this point, though we're going to get him really low here. Copter is probably what we don't need. Least likely thing to matter at this point. Yes. See how our opponent wants to do the blocking. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. That's what I guessed. So he's going to go up to 11, take... Yeah, so we've got to just go with this route. Quite the blowout, though. Kind of 2 trap cards, right? I mean, if there are trap cards in duels, Knight of the White Orchid, maybe, right? But... in my opinion, Lone Rider, ultimate trap card in duels. It makes you play with life gain cards and hope that they're good. That's my opinion, of course. You don't have to agree with me. Make that emblem, I guess. Yep. All right, let's insult him. And that should do it. Smashed on 2 lands with the 3rd just showing up at the last moment. 3-0. Our opponent, they held off. I think they were trying to get that knight value, but like Right Justice said, if that's the case, it was a bit of a trap and they probably shouldn't have done that. But I don't know what their hand was. Yonder, what do you mean life gain is bad? It's not bad, it's just not always optimal. It has to come with considerable effect outside of simply gaining life. Blessed Alliance is a good example. So is Pulsa Marasa. In a vacuum, no magic card is bad. All of them probably have their moments where they are possibly fantastic, which is one of the interesting things about Magic. No mechanic is bad in a vacuum either. It's just, how much are we talking about competitive stuff? Oh yeah, Yonder's playing life gain. Well, what am I supposed to do for you, man? What can I do for you? You watch this channel and you still play life gain. I can't help you. Our opponent's gonna get their guide on. There's one you don't see all the time. Let's see what we go with. They search their library for a mountain and put it on top of the deck. I will play Copter. Turn 2 Copters. It's been a trend today. Although the tokens deck didn't really have them. Guide in for 1. They attack us with the Anuk guide. It's a hound, I believe. Aonok guide, and then they play Exemplar of Strength and kill their guide. That's a big play. Exemplar of Strength. Let's see, when it comes into play, 3/-1/1 creatures on target creature, so they did that to the guide. So they could have a 2-mana 4/4. It's pretty good. I think the best line for us is going to be to play this forest, play this cub, and attack with the smuggler's copter holding up the mighty defense. Then we have to decide how important, we'll see what we loot into. It's going to be a pretty big loot though, as we decide whether or not this is a game for insult. Thinking. Since my opponent may be playing larger creatures than me, keeping energy and harness lightning sounds like a pretty smart move. I'm actually going to discard insult, as I don't foresee, let's see, it's maybe a tough game to finish with some big explosion of damage. Although, if we got him to 10, we'd have that, but that's going to take at least a few turns. So maybe I'm not going to play combo-y and try to play a fair game. There is an elf shaman. I wonder if that is a must remove in this situation or not. But I think we will remove it just to get in with the cub and replace that energy. Of course, it would be really great to draw land here so that we can play Sage, Crewcopter, and Lightning that cub. Of course, we could also run the defense into it. That's the wrong land. What do I want more than the energy? I could also attack and see if we have to use a blossoming defense. Of course, if I don't hit an untapped land, I can't kill either one of those creatures. How aggressive should I be? Next turn, I definitely have the 4 mana, so I can do things like play cub and kill something. Is that good enough then for this turn? I guess so. So I think what I want to do is play the other cub, not the sage, because we're not going to use the energy till next turn when we play the sage anyway. It'll be nice to hit an untapped land here, but not necessary, especially if our opponent doesn't block. Let's dial up the pressure. There's the untapped land. So I will keep it. And if our opponent no blocks here, I can harness lightning something. Yeah, they're going to take it. So, yep. What should I harness lightning? The exemplar is bigger, but the huntmaster kind of ensures if he has an elf that I can't get in on the ground anymore. And if he probably would have blocked if he didn't have it. He has an elf, I think, because he didn't block. So let's just get that off the board before he gets a chance to use it. All right, there we go. I think we firmly got into the driver's seat. But let's see if it's a glorybringer. It's a Nissa Vital Force. Ew. If he just comes at me for 9, though, is he dead? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's so close. Ooh, it's so close. See what we draw. It's an untapped land. I think I have lethal. Let's see. We also have insult in the graveyard. Rampager. That can crew the copter and make an energy. What's that mean? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12? Yeah, piece of cake. Let's see. Try not to screw this up. Alright, crew the copter. Generate an energy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stage is 9, 10. And then... I guess I am short. What about if I draw an untapped land? Or a pump spell? Injury might be able to do it. This is where I think I messed up because I didn't have insult. Well, let's attack. See what we draw. You're late. Piece of Pete. Well, it doesn't help now. You're late. So we got 8. I can pump 2 more. That's 10. Wait. Yeah, that's good. Okay, here we go. Take that for 0. Should do it. I think we found it. There we go. Mardu Super Friends sort of already qualified. I don't play much Planeswalker Tribal. I might pull out the 5-color green for fun, but that deck isn't, like, actually something that I think anybody should play seriously. I think it's a fun deck. We had a question in chat about will Super Friends variant be trying out. Alright, there we go. Go energy. Yeah, it's a sorcery, not an instant, so we couldn't have cast that insult that we drew. It's okay, though. We found it. We found it. It took a second, but we found it. I mean, what do you define as a Super Friend deck? Like, I played a deck at the start of today, like that Mardu deck, it has 9 Planeswalkers. So what do you define as Super Friends? Just curious. Everybody kind of comes up with their own meanings for things, so I just want to know how to be on the same page. Does it have to be like 12 Planeswalkers and 8 Oaths and 6 Sweepers? Is that Super Friends? More than 12 Planeswalkers. Okay, so those decks, like, those decks are so one-dimensional, right? Maybe we'll pull out the mono green rainbow sometime, if we run out of other things to play. Countless Gears Renegade. We got a grizzly bear in the house. Guess I'm worried a little about Thalia. Let's do it this way. This is going to be one of those games where the opponent better have an answer. They better be ready, or they might get electrostatic pummeled. Because we got all kinds of energy going on. Bring it on, Renegade. I'm not afraid. We'll see if we can make a really big pummeler for you today. And it is a second Renegade, so we have to watch out for Revolt stuff. This appears to be a red-white, maybe there's green in there too, Revoltish deck. So, I think we want to attack, which means we want to put in an energy. I think that's totally worth it. Okay, no blocks. So that makes a nice round number. That's 16. We just have to get pummeler to an 8/8, which we can do then 6 energy. So highspire infusion right now makes the pummeler lethal because we can make it a 4/4, then an 8/8, then a 16/16. So our opponent's already in trouble. And here come the gears. No problem. Bring it. What's it gonna be? Electrostatic pummeler, pay 3 energy. It doubles its power. Alright. Our opponent left up mana, which makes me gun shy. So we'll just take this a little at a time. I don't think I'll necessarily go for it here, but we'll see. I'm going to send in the clowns. Send in the knuckleheads. See if my opponent makes a move. Nothing. Okay, that's fine. I could play the cub. I think my opponent's so unlikely to run sweepers, but I've been burned before. But I think the cub is the play here. But yeah, we didn't go for it. Opponent could have Skywhaler's Shot or Reprisal, something like that. I'm going to try to make them tap some more mana to keep up with the board before we go for it. In Magic, you don't just assemble your combo and go for it. Sometimes patience is the best way to go, especially an aggressive combo. Like, they have to deal with your stuff, and that takes mana. So, eventually they have to tap some mana. Here come those. That's fine. Still not blocking. He wants Revolt is my prediction here. And 5 mana, Archangel Avacyn. Wow, okay. Okie dokie, buddy. That new Hellion, perfect. So that's a lot of pressure. We'll go up to 8, we'll go down to 7, and then we'll present all the pain. Let's see what our opponent wants to block with here. But I think we have lethal even if he blocks the pummeler. Yeah, we do. Main phase Avacyn, it's true. He was hoping to get us in combat, didn't work out. If he had played it during combat, that wouldn't change much. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Our opponent's dead. So let's just, yeah, we won't do the bad manners. We'll just end the game. But we could have made a very big pummeler, and he was forced into a position of dealing with it. So we 5-0'd with red-green energy. Nice quick 5 wins. Piece of cake. Deck's really good. Like, I have another red-green deck that's also pretty good, but this might be the red-green deck. I would not be surprised at all if that were the case. So, red-green energy, still a house, a boss. And I'm going to get out of here for the night. Thank you all for hanging out with me, and I will see you later.